Yeah, morning traders. Well, let's kick things off technical Tuesdays as we usually do. We got US dollar index on the chart. It's had a nice little bounce off its 50-day simple moving averages, moving higher. And we've got the 103, 102.5 round numbers up in play. The RSI still got a bit of room. The risk, it's a bit of risk off this morning, so the dollar's seeing a nice little bid. Let's look at the US 500. We can see it's come up against that resistance there at around 4.150, that area there, and price has sort of dribbled back lower now. The RSI also rolling over. I think the next big target's at 4K level on the downside. On the upside, we've got the 23.6 fib at 4.2 in the 50-day simple moving average just above there. Euro US dollar, sort of not doing much. Small price movement in anticipation of that ECB meeting on Thursday. That's going to be the big one. And then obviously, we got the 50-day simple moving average there, 108 round number, 38.2 on the upside in terms of resistance, and on the downside, we've got the 106. 266, 23.6 fib level, and we got that resistance there at 106, former range resistance. RSI again got quite close to that former 62.55 and rolled over. And then let's move over to cable. Cable's obviously making some interesting moves here. It shot up yesterday, even despite the no confidence votes, down today, but this is more on risk-off sentiment. Price made a low towards that 124.2 level where the 23.6 Fibonacci is, and that's clearly a key level to watch here. It's also the former range resistance there. We can see a few wicks there. On the upside, 38.2 and the 50-day simple moving average. RSI again got close but rolled over. Euro GBP keeps on knocking close towards that 0.86 door. RSIs again at levels where previous price peaks rolled over. We got a golden cross looking like it wants to take place here. The 50-day simple moving average crossing above the 200-day. So yeah, looking good for Euro GBP. The uptrend still looks intact. Interesting one to watch, especially if we break through the top of that 0.86. US dollar JPY is back to 2002 levels. It surged past these previous highs here. We're into 132 territory now. And this is it's been quite a remarkable move. We've done sort of some big figs each day almost, sometimes two. RSI is in overbought territory. We can see there that it got up to a peak of around 88. We're only in 72, so it could still run a lot higher. 135, who knows? Let's move on to Aussie dollar. That's an interesting one, especially since the RBA surprised with that 50 basis point rate hike, much higher than consensus 0.25. But it's trimmed its gains on the back of that souring risk sentiment. We've got those two key simple moving averages there, the 50-day and the 200-day, just around this 0.725 area. And the RSI, obviously still got a bit more room to run on the upside. Could we see 0.75 come into play? On the downside, that 0.7 level will be crucial if price was to pull back. AUD JPY, obviously still strong, even though risk sentiment due to Japanese yen's weakness. But I think this 96, the previous high here, and the RSI being at overboard, could act as a bit of a step headwind for further gains. One to watch. Let's move into commodity land. Gold's finding a tiny bit of support there on that 200-day simple moving average, as well as that 1830 former range resistance just below. RSI got in a bit of no man's land, so can't really discern anything there. 1850 would be the first target to get through, and then we saw a bit of resistance here around 1870. Moving on to crude, we can see, price rally just shy of that 125 area there, resistance. The RSI got up there to that just before overbought territory and rolled over a touch. I think it's following risk sentiment this morning and that stronger dollar, but oil fundamentals still remain strong. We saw yesterday Saudi pricing their grade of crude higher to Asian buyers, a signal of their confidence in demand. Let's just take a quick look over at interest rate pricing before we conclude Technical Tuesdays this morning. We can see, obviously, prices kicked up a gear throughout the end of May there. We're now back from almost around 7 really to just shy of 8, and I'm sure this will be helping the dollar against other currencies. Thanks for watching Technical Tuesdays this morning. It's been a great episode, and I'll see you all next week for the next episode.